Hello and welcome to this week's Monday Night Conversation. My name is Annika and I'm the founder here at Mummy Made This, a company I founded back in 2020 to inspire creative play in children and make parents' lives that little bit easier in this parenting journey that we're all on. So our recent sessions, for those of you who have been joining us on a Monday evening, have been all about discipline for younger children and then for slightly older children, and finding ways to discipline through connection rather than just the straightforward, more old-fashioned, I guess, or more traditional ways of discipline like timeout and things. Today is a much more light-hearted topic, and it is all about getting children out and about in the great outdoors and how to get them to enjoy a family walk. So I don't know about you, but I found when my children reached that age where they weren't prepared or didn't want to sit in the buggy anymore, that's when the walking was really tricky, because you couldn't just get them to have their nap in their buggy while the older ones walked, and the little one would just be pushed around, and that was fine. When they wanted to do the walking themselves, but they were quite little and their little legs wouldn't carry them very far, that's when we really struggled, because then they'd get quite heavy quite quickly, and we couldn't really, I certainly couldn't carry them for sort of 5, 6, 7 miles. And it felt for a lot of the time that we were unable to do that we felt we were missing out as a family, because we love our walks. So the only way we got around that would be if we went with other parents who had children of a similar age, and they would sort of entertain each other, and that way the walk, that would be a lot of fun, because the kids would talk to each other and the adults could talk to each other, and that was great. Or if we were restricted to places that had very smooth paths so that they could scoot or whatever. But like just a normal walk, through the woods or whatever, was really quite tricky. But today we did something slightly different, and it worked an absolute treat, and that's what I want to share with you today. So what we did is what I used to do as a child, actually, but slightly different again. But anyway, a treasure hunt, basically. And before we set up, and it had multiple different benefits. So before we set off, I sat down with my middle one, because she's in reception, so she's starting to learn how to spell and to write and things. So I sat with her, and I had little cards. Actually, here we go. I can show you some of them. And she would sit and write the actual clues out for her brothers. And we made sure we picked really, really generic clues and simple things, so that it didn't matter what local wood we went to for our walk, or what walk in the countryside, anywhere really, we'd go on, because on a local walk anywhere in the countryside, you have trees that you can hide stuff behind. So our generic clues were things like look behind the rocks, or look under the stones, or check behind the thin tree, or the fat tree, or look under the tree trunk, or look near the tree trunk, or the logs, or look near the kissing gate, check under the bench, that kind of thing. So really quite generic. And then while she was writing these, and I sat and helped her, and when we were done with that, I packed some snacks and treats for my children, just little things. In our case, we didn't, I should have probably taken some fruit and things as well, but we didn't really have that much in the house. So it was literally just some boiled sweets, some jelly beans, some gummy bears, I think were in there, a bit of chocolate. And I packed them into little aluminium foils, bundles, so that they could be hidden in the countryside without getting dirty. And then we set off, and each child took turns to hold on to the clue, and then the other children would go and hide the treats. So we'd be saying, okay, we're looking for a bench to hide something under, and so that child would then, the one with the clue, that would hand back, and the others would dash off and try and find a bench to put the clue under. And especially things like the bench or the kissing gate, so the walk that we were on today, we hadn't been on for a very long time, so we couldn't quite remember whether it had a kissing gate or a bench, so it took us ages to find one. Luckily we did have one in the end, but we, in the meantime, between the clues, they just stuck together. We chatted, they talked about all sorts, or explored. There was a stream that they explored, and did some throwing stones into the stream, and they, I don't know, picked up leaves and asked questions about birds' nests, and it was just wonderful. So in between giving the clues and handing them out and that excitement, they were engaged enough in just nature. Whereas on a normal walk, I think, I don't want to say they get bored, but I think they're not used to it as much, maybe. So they then start to get tired and they want to be carried, and none of that happened today. Every time that started to happen, like, oh, should we hide another clue, or whose turn is it now? And then they got all fired up about that again, and that would carry them on for a little bit further through the walk, really. So it was absolutely wonderful. We did a good 4 miles in the end, and even though a little bit of prep obviously was needed, it was really, really worth it, because not only did my middle one sit and without any fuss do 30 minutes of writing and spelling and writing out the clues, so that was a bonus, that she did that without even realizing she was doing it, basically. My little one, he loved the puddles and just nature and being outside, but also obviously the clues and the excitement that the older ones showed, and hiding them, and doing that together. And my older one, he loved coordinating it all and telling people, oh, let's go for that bench or this tree trunk, or so that was really, really just wonderful to see them all work together as a team and have an awful lot of fun in the countryside. I think, as I say, next time, rather than just sweets, because towards the end they were all pretty hungry, I will use a normal picnic bits and bobs that we have, like, I don't know, pieces of apple or cheese or pepperonis or whatever we have, as some of the treats to hide along the way, to give them that little bit more energy. So that's, I think, a lesson learned for me, and then intersperse that with sweets as well. But other than that, it was really wonderful, playful way to do the great outdoors with the children. It worked wonders, and I really, really recommend it. Yeah. In my blog this week, I will share the actual treasure clues we did. As I say, I think the more generic, probably the better. And then you can go most places with them. You could reuse them again and again, or just write them every time if you wanted. And that way you'd get your children to do that spelling practice, obviously, which is great. Yeah, anyway, just a really short one for me tonight. That was all. Just wanted to share how that was a wonderful, really positive experience that we had this half term. And it's a real joy to be on a family walk again, and I haven't been able to say that in quite a while. I'd love to hear your thoughts and continue the conversation with you on my Facebook group. As most of you know, it's in the top right hand corner. Is a blue link for you to join on my website, www.mummymadethis.co.uk. I'd love your comments. You can email me anything at annika@mummymadethis.co.uk, or engage with me on my Instagram or Facebook group, or my pages, also Mummy Made This. If you've missed any of the past videos and you'd like to take a look, you can go to my YouTube channel at Mummy Made This, or you can join the Monday night mailing list at www.mummymadethis.co.uk/Monday night. And as always, if you'd like to receive the blog to your inbox, you can go to the direct link www.mummymadethis.co.uk/mailing list, and then you'll be added, and then you get those on a weekly basis. That's it for me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you next Monday at 8 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube. Take care. Bye.